I wanted to ask first of all, how is the situation with Sam and his cough? How is it going on? Is it coming up with a lot of challenges for the performance or for the tour?
No, he's all good now. I think the obviously the show where he did it was difficult for him, but
Can you
he was very brave boy, and he got
imagine?
through that show. I went with him to hospital after the show just to go get it checked over, and fortunately, it's nothing crazy. He
Fair enough.
I think he just strained his calf. The day after, he did a show where he basically stood still for the entire
Okay.
show. Did a great job singing, so that's all that matters. And then
Good,
every
good.
show since then, he's been able to move around a little bit more. So he's doing good. I think by tomorrow and the day after that for our shows in Spain, he's going to be close to a normal sound performance, which is cool because it was definitely a little bit worrying at the first couple of hours after it happened. He's a tough lad.
I wanted to ask you about the song "Seeing Red." I know there's a lot of story behind that track, and I don't know if you want to share that with me, and also talking about like how those emotions behind that song impacted the band itself.
I think for us that song is it might come across as like quite an angry song from our perspective, but it's more kind of poking fun at the angry people on the internet who
Of course.
believe that our band needs to be a certain way and needs to sound a certain way and say certain things and hold certain beliefs. And for us that song was kind of a fun way of which is something we enjoy doing from time to time. Not always, like we like to try with lots of different sounds and styles of metal and rock music. So it's fun to do a super heavy song.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess the message is different for different people, but the way I see it is it's kind of us making fun of relentless criticism for not being the band that people insist that we should be.
I do have to ask, in the end of Whiplash, we can hear someone talking really angry, and I believe that's Gordon Ramsay.
You're correct.
How did that come about? Like, what's the story there?
Just a bit of fun, really. I mean, I wasn't present in the room when that was getting added to the track. I was with Adam in the other
Hmm.
part of the studio doing some guitar bits, and I came back into the room that Dan and Jordan and Sam were recording vocals in, and they had just put it on the end and showed it to me, and I there was no hesitation, like had to stay. It's just like I don't know. Again, Whiplash is a song about outrage, and I mean it goes deeper than that. But
Hmm.
the theme of the culture wars online, and
Yeah.
again, you can tie it back to our experiences with the band. But it was just a kind of it's such a serious, angry, heavy song,
Hmm.
and just to have Gordon Ramsay shouting about how angry he is at the end of the song, and then calling someone a donkey. It's like for us, it's just fun, and like
Yeah.
that's at the core of the band is like fun and humor, and like we don't take ourselves seriously. Although the music is presented in a very serious way, the actual character of the band is, we just have a good time with it. So
Yeah.
it was a cool moment for us to go, this is really silly, but it's going on. We've just added it to the end of the track live as well when we play it, and it's just
Oh,
funny hearing
nice.
it blasted out over a huge PA system at our shows.
In terms of writing music, do you guys have any creative process, or do you follow like an instructor between all of you guys?
We work way more with demoing over WhatsApp and
Fair
email.
enough.
It's a lot of the writing is done at home. It almost always starts with Dan
Hmm.
um, coming up with some ideas. On this one, there would have been ideas that Jordan brought to the table as well.
Of course.
But there is like Dan's the core songwriter of the group,
Hmm.
so things will usually start with him and bloom from then.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll discuss songs over WhatsApp every now and then. When we're together playing shows and stuff, we'll kind of talk through ideas and through
Hmm.
songs. And when it comes to the vocal section of it, it's a lot of that is more of that is done in the studio now. In the past, it was like ideas were kind of mapped out with MIDI and
Okay.
uh,
Interesting way.
the draft was done that way. But with this record, it was a lot more of Sam, Dan, and Jordan being in the room together and trying ideas out and in a bit more of an organic way rather than being like, cool, here's an idea of a MIDI piano. Let's try this. Okay, that did or it didn't work. Back to the drawing board kind of thing.
Fair enough.
But we all live far away from each other, apart from myself and Sam. The
Hmm.
two of us are still down close to Brighton.
Okay.
Adam's kind of in the north of England and Dan's in the West Country. So we don't actually spend a lot of time in each other's company when we're not
Hmm.
on tour. So for us to be in a room together is really difficult now. But then yeah, we book out like a decent amount of studio time to bring the demos to life and put real instruments in place of the MIDI ones
Yeah.
and that's where we'll put the finishing touches on the record, and that'll be like some stuff will change. We'll add new layers, that kind of thing. But it's really the writing process generally starts with Dan, and then he'll bring Sam in, and then the band will come in at different stages and different approaches. But the biggest difference, obviously, on this record has been working with Jordan, and that's something we've not done before. It's always
Of
been the
course.
band writes the album, and then you might have odd bits of extra production added by people that we're working with. But
Hmm.
Jordan was kind of heavily involved from the get-go with this one, which is
How,
new for us.
how was that experience, working with him, involving him in the whole writing process?
Amazing. It's scary when you change up your process because it
Hmm.
can go terribly wrong if the
Yeah.
dynamic is wrong. And it can either produce like a bad record or it can set you back a year or there's all
Hmm.
sorts of challenges that you can face. But with Jordan, it was just he brought so many great ideas to the table, and he has a really good working relationship with Dan and Sam, which
Hmm.
is super important.
Yeah, it
I
is.
think when you're recording a human instrument like vocals, you need to have that special bond with someone, and
Hmm.
Sam and Jordan have that. Working with Jordan with guitars and bass as well, like he's
Hmm.
just got great input on everything. And it really did feel like he was the fifth member of the band for a bit. We've done it in little bits in the past. Like he had the first song he ever had any sort of input on was Doomsday, which was
I
years
forget
ago.
about that.
So we do already have a pre-existing relationship with him with when it comes to work.
Is there any inspiration behind the new album? Is there any particular like theme or experience that actually influenced the whole album?
Yeah, I'm unfortunately going to give you a really boring answer on this because I don't write our lyrics.
No worries.
I have, I have understandings about what the songs are about, but I feel I don't want to speak on Dan's behalf because
Of
I will
course.
do a bad job of it. I know that you just need to listen to the lyrics to understand that it's not. Our band has been historically one that is a super like we have like political messages and
Hmm.
environmental messages and commentary on religion, all sorts of things. Like it's not
Yeah.
our band is not that band now, like where it's just those topics are on the
Hmm.
table. The messages in the songs now are probably more open to personal experiences and less intense commentary on society. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
it's not the themes have changed, but I've done interviews recently as well where I just don't really feel comfortable talking in depth about the lyrics because I don't write them and
Of course.
I don't want to misrepresent what is trying to be said.
Now, Architects is a well-established band already. Do you still have any goals or any milestones that you're still aiming towards?
We have been going for like maybe 20 years. But we'll tour different parts of the world, and like Sam will often ask on stage, like, who's seeing us for the first time? And in a lot of cases, particularly in places like America, it will be
Uh-huh.
the majority of the room. That's in part because the band has taken longer to develop over there because we've gone through such stylistic changes since
Yeah.
we started. You're inevitably going to start finding your way into different audiences. So I think past couple of years we've moved away a little bit from the super metalcore centric
Hmm.
community, which is awesome. And like I think for us, we often talk about how this is album 11 and it's from all of the information we're getting about how it's streaming and how it's performing and
Hmm.
where it's ended up in charts around the world. It's like it's our biggest record. And for that to happen on album 11, we look back 5 years ago and we're like, holy shit, the band's doing amazing. And like we can't believe what's going on with it. And
Yeah.
we are playing these shows where we're like, oh my God, when did this happen? But we're kind of experiencing that again with how the band is developing out of England. Like a great example is like we've just done these shows in France and we're
Yep.
playing in these what are considered secondary markets in France, and the show's been amazing. We are genuinely so grateful for that. But yeah, I guess in terms of milestones, there's festivals that we've been playing for years that we're working our way up the bills now, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of them that we're looking at, and we want to be headlining them. So that's
Hmm.
that's always the goal in terms of the shows, and then I don't know.
Wow.
We did a bunch of shows with Metallica last year and the year
Yeah.
before. They're a band that have been successful for so many years now, and that
Hmm.
longevity becomes like so appealing. Like, oh my God, we can actually make playing in a metal band our our career for life if we keep working hard and stick at it.
Yeah.
Like that for me feels like the ultimate goal.
I wanted to ask you if you guys have any way that you divide the workload between the members. I don't know if you guys are still having like any full-time job or any other like yeah like any job apart from the band itself, or you guys are already focusing all your efforts in the band.
Yeah, I mean, it is our full-time job. But yeah, fortunately, we got to a point where it could pay the bills a while ago. But yeah, in terms of managing the workload, that we it's an everyday. There's everyday discussions. It's nothing too intense. It's never going to be like a 9 to 5 amount
Hmm.
of work. We've all developed natural responsibilities over the years, and although there are some things where they'll just happen and one member of the band pays attention to it and stuff just gets done, we're always consulting each other on what needs to be happening. In everything apart from the writing process, we're generally completely democratic.
Yeah.
Um, if it doesn't have the backing of the majority, it'll be rediscussed or it won't happen. But then when it comes to the creative side of things, like there are some instances where there's buttons of heads, but ultimately, if there's one strong creative force, they're kind of going to get their way. Because I think bands need to have, like a strong creative director in the band. Otherwise,
Yeah.
at least in our scenario, like
Hmm.
someone's got to be taking the reins. Otherwise, it becomes a very muddled, confused creative process. I mean, there
Yeah.
are bands out there where everyone is involved in everything, and
Hmm.
that's cool. That's not how we do it, and it never has been.
Well, I want to finish with a last question. Well, not a question, more of a request. Is there any message that you want to share with the fans that are going to be in the shows and they are listening to the new album?
We're very, very excited to be out playing our new record for everyone, and like so far it's been awesome, and we're looking forward to getting to as many places as we can do to play these songs for people, and like we just appreciate the support that we've had over the years because it has been a long time and we've got some great fans. Yeah, we are eternally grateful for that, and we're looking forward to good fun couple of years of touring this record.
Well, I want to thank you again, Alex, for your time and for all your honest answers as well. It's been a really nice chat. But
Yeah,
yeah,
nice chatting to you, man.
I'm gonna let you go and carry on with your day. Cannot wait to see you in London. I'm pretty sure the people in Madrid cannot wait to see you as well. I know a lot of people that they're already planning what time they're gonna be indoors because they want to be there as soon as
Love
possible.
that. Thank you, Sergio. Have a good day,
Uh,
my man.